world is not kind to those who hesitate, to those who stand still, clinging to the safety of what they've always been. The truth is harsh, unforgiving. It doesn't care for your comfort or your excuses. The version of you that you are holding on to, that old, tired version of yourself, is the very thing holding you back. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this the person you want to be remembered as? Is this the person who will carve their name into the world, who will leave their mark so boldly that no one can forget? I know it's easier to stay as you are, to convince yourself that the world will somehow adjust for you, that opportunities will come knocking if you just wait long enough. But let me tell you something, you need to hear this. It won't. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. If you want to rise, if you want to create a version of yourself that is unstoppable, then you need to kill the version of yourself that keeps apologizing, that keeps playing small. You need to destroy the doubts, the fears, the weaknesses that have chained you down for far too long. This isn't just about becoming better. This is about survival. This is about taking everything you've ever been through, every betrayal, every heartbreak, every failure, and turning it into fuel. Don't run from the pain. Don't hide from the storms. Face them. Let them break over you like waves, and when they're done, stand taller, sharper, stronger. You think the world is going to pity you? You think your enemies will hesitate for a second? No, they won't. They will come for you. And if you're not ready, they'll tear you apart. But not the new you. Oh no, not the version of you that rises from the ashes. The new you is a nightmare, a force so relentless, so driven that nothing can stand in your way. You think Liam Neeson in one of those revenge movies has intensity? You think that's determination? That's a fraction of what you need to carry in your soul. You need to be the kind of person who, when someone sees you coming, they don't just move out of your way. They feel the shift in the air, the weight of your presence, and they fear it. The new you doesn't negotiate with self-doubt. The new you doesn't second-guess decisions. The new you doesn't give a damn about the opinions of those who tried to hold you down. The new you is fire. The new you burns so brightly that no one dares get too close unless they're ready to burn with you. This isn't about pleasing anyone. This isn't about fitting into some mold that the world has crafted for you. No. This is about breaking every single mold, every single expectation, until the only thing left is your truth, your power. You've been underestimated, haven't you? They've looked at you, dismissed you, thought you'd never be more than what you are right now. Good, let them. Let them keep underestimating you, because when you finally unveil the version of yourself that you're building, it'll be too late for them to prepare, too late to stop you. By the time they see what you've become, you'll already be miles ahead. You'll be untouchable. But understand this, it won't come easy. It won't happen overnight. You're gonna have to fight for it. You're gonna have to bleed for it. There will be nights when you feel like giving up, when the weight of everything feels unbearable. But those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments when you look in the mirror and say, not today. You will push through. You will endure. Because every single step, every single sacrifice is building something unstoppable. You're not just changing. You're transforming. You're tearing down every weak, broken piece of yourself and replacing it with steel, with fire, with unshakable resolve. They won't recognize you when you're done. The ones who doubted you, who mocked you, who tried to break you, they won't even know how to deal with the person you've become. And they won't have to, because you'll be so far ahead, so untouchable, that their opinions won't even register anymore. This is your moment, right here, right now. No more waiting, no more excuses. You've been given one life, one shot, and it's up to you to decide what you do with it. The old you is dead weight. The old you has served its purpose. It got you this far, but it can't take you where you need to go. Let it go. Burn it down if you have to. Step into the fire, because that's the only way you'll emerge as something new, something unstoppable. And when you do, when the new you steps into the light, the world won't know what hit it. Enough of the excuses, enough of the waiting, enough of the old version of yourself that clings to safety, that whispers lies to keep you comfortable. That version of you is a prison. You've lived with it, made peace with it, even convinced yourself that it's who you're meant to be. But deep down, you know better. And you've always known there's something inside you clawing to get out. Something raw, something untamed. It's time to unleash it. It's time to destroy the old you. Do you think this world cares about your fears, your doubts, your past mistakes? It doesn't. Life will beat you to the ground and step over your broken pieces without a second thought. You don't get to beg for mercy, and you don't get to wait for rescue. No one is coming to save you. You save yourself. You pick yourself up, piece by piece, no matter how many times you've been shattered, and you rebuild into something unrecognizable, something indestructible. The old you, that was survival. The new you, that's dominance. The new you doesn't just endure, the new you conquers. The new you looks at fear and laughs, stares failure in the eye and keeps moving forward. The new you doesn't care who doubts, who sneers, who underestimates. Their opinions are irrelevant, their judgments meaningless. The new you is ruthless, not with others, but with yourself. Ruthless in your discipline, ruthless in your hunger, ruthless in your refusal to be anything less than extraordinary. You're not here to blend in. You're not here to tiptoe through life hoping not to disturb anyone. You're here to disrupt, to shake the ground beneath your feet, to leave a mark so deep that they'll still be talking about you long after you're gone. And you don't get there by being soft, by being timid, by holding on to the version of yourself that hesitates. You get there by burning away everything that isn't serving you. Every fear, every excuse, every weakness. This is war. Your war, and the battlefield is within. You've got demons to face, doubts to slay, and limitations to obliterate. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There isn't one. Stop telling yourself you're not ready. You'll never feel ready. You don't need readiness. You need action. You need to step into the fire, let it scorch away everything that isn't real, and emerge as the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. Do you know what happens when you finally become that person? They won't see it coming. The people who doubted you, who talked down to you, who wrote you off, they won't recognize you. They'll scramble to make sense of the transformation, to figure out how you became this unrelenting, unshakable version of yourself. And by the time they do, you'll be so far ahead they'll never catch up. You won't just surprise them. You'll haunt them. You'll become the nightmare they never saw coming. But let me be clear, this isn't easy. Reinvention is brutal. It's painful. It requires sacrifice. You'll lose things along the way, old habits, old beliefs, even people who can't handle your growth. And that's fine. Not everyone is meant to come with you. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your transformation. The ones who truly matter will rise with you, and the rest will fall away. This is your time, not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Now, the old you has served its purpose, but its time is done. It's time to leave it behind, to bury it, to set fire to it if you must. From the ashes you will rise, not as a better version of yourself, but as something entirely new, something no one can stop, something no one can ignore. The world isn't ready for you, and that's exactly why you need to show that. So stand up, stand tall, let the old you fall away, let it crumble into dust, because the person you're becoming, the one you're building right now, will be a force the world has no answer for. They'll hear your footsteps long before you arrive. They'll feel your presence before you speak. And when they finally see you, they'll know this is not someone to be trifled with. The new you doesn't wait. The new you doesn't ask for permission. The new you takes. This is your time. This is your reckoning. Step forward, unrelenting, unstoppable. Be the nightmare they never saw coming, and don't you dare look back. So here it is, your moment of truth. The line is drawn, the choice is yours, and there's no going back. The old you, let it die. Let it fade into nothingness. That person, that shadow of who you once were, served its purpose, kept you alive, but it's not enough anymore. You can't hold on to that fragile shell of yourself and expect to rise. You have to break it, shatter it into 1,000 irreparable pieces. Burn it so completely that not even the ashes remain, because what comes next isn't a version of you they'll recognize. What comes next is a storm, a reckoning, a force of nature that cannot be contained. This world, this cold, unforgiving world, doesn't hand out second chances. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. If you want it, you take it. If you want to stand at the top, you fight your way there with blood, sweat, and every ounce of strength you have left. And when you think you've given everything, when you're broken, exhausted, and hollow, you dig deeper. You find more. The new you doesn't make excuses. The new you doesn't hesitate. The new you doesn't care who stands in the way, because the new you moves through anything and anyone. They will doubt you, they will mock you, they will try to stop you. Let them try. Let them waste their time and energy underestimating you, because by the time they realize what you've become, it'll be too late. They'll hear your name, and it will burn into their minds like a brand. You will not be a memory. You will be a legend. Your presence will echo. Your name will carry weight, and your actions will carve a path that no one else can walk. They'll look at you and wonder how you became this, how you rose from the ruins of who you were. And you'll stand there, unyielding, unbroken, and you won't need to say a word. Your existence will speak for itself. This is it, your rebirth, your moment, to destroy the chains that have held you back and rise as something unstoppable, something eternal. Step forward into the fire. Let it consume you and walk out as the nightmare they never saw coming. The old you is gone. The new you has arrived, and the world will never, ever be the same.